This Israel report is brought to you by the Blue Agency. Your Israel property is in good hands. Owning properties in Israel can be a great investment, but challenging to manage if you're based abroad. The Blue Agency will manage every aspect of your property, finding and vetting tenants, maintaining your property and getting it rental ready, negotiating contracts and collecting rentals, reporting back to you regularly. The Blue Agency has built a reputation for trust and confidentiality over 20 years. The Blue Agency, your Israel property is in good hands. Contact us at www.theblueagency.com.
7:44. Joining us this morning for the Israel Report, Lieutenant Colonel Eyal Dror. He is the founder and commander of the Good Neighbor Project. A very good morning, Shavua Tov. I hope you are well.
Great morning, very exciting morning regarding us, the residents of Dafna. If you want that, I will share in 30 seconds because
Please.
It's important.
Tell us.
Well, you know that we have been evacuated. You know
Yes.
that we have, our community came back to our kibbutz Dafna on the northern border. And today we started the new stage. 13 new houses is being built here in kibbutz Dafna for 30 new families. This is going to join us in the next couple of months. And if you want to understand the meaning of resilience and the meaning of a modern pioneer, this is exactly what is going on here in this moment. I'm super excited as a resident of the North. It's our victory.
It really
is our
is.
Victory.
And that families are choosing to move there and knowing full well the challenges of the area is incredible.
Exactly, and some of it might be, we don't know yet because we are now starting because in the list there is at least 30 families, so we are now starting the interviews procedures, but maybe some of them is also coming from the area of Tel Aviv, so they know what happened here, they know the challenges of living in the periphery, and they chose to put their names in order that they might have ability to live in the northern border of Israel. It's super exciting, Howard. It's super exciting.
It really is, and I think what it also does is it gives a boost to the people of the area to say, you know what, you're not alone. We're going to be joining you, and we believe in the resilience and the strength of the area. It validates in a way the people who have made the decision to stay there.
Yes, so for us again, exactly like you said, it's giving us the power, the strength that we are not alone, and it's very happy and optimistic days to kibbutz Dafna. Looking forward to the next challenges, and we have challenges. We have the issue with Hezbollah hasn't been finished yet. We're still trying to rebuild our community strength, but definitely such an event is something that says, okay, October 7th, our most horrible period of time, also here in the north. Now we are looking forward to the future, and it's amazing, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts about that.
I think that, to me, is the part of the Israel Report that we should be telling people about, because a lot of the things we can read in the news, when we hear stories like that, it gives us a sense of what is really going on the ground in Israel. So I do think that is important. Let's, though, move on to the headline type of news, which is that the Board of Peace. Let's understand can we try and understand where this is at and what the chances of success are?
So I will ask your audience to go and read my last article and then the one that will be published during this week, my two latest articles at JNS talking about Gaza. You know, I'm an expert in the Lebanese and Syrian and geopolitics, but I said to myself that I need to put my thoughts also about Gaza. And I can tell you, Howard, that for me, as a person that served in Gaza, that saw the military operation, that understanding the ideology of Hamas, everything that is going about this peace task force, the ISF, the peace council, it's so. Should I say it? It's nonsense. Can I say it on air?
Of course, as long as you tell me why.
Because it's a joke. Hamas goes back to the ideology. Hamas will never lose its weapon. Unfortunately, they are even saying that loud and clear. A week ago, President Trump has announced about the first stage and let's see what is going on. And Hamas agreed to pass his weapon. Hamas said, no, we don't. We first need that Israel will evacuate from all of our territories and then we will. It will never happen. I'll explain it time after time. It's a ridiculous joke on the back of the Europeans, the Americans, and I hope it will not be on the back of the Israelis. Hamas there. Hamas want to stay and control. Yes, Hamas is a champion in doing shows. We have seen all the fake news. They will do the same. They will bring some Palestinians belonging to the Palestinian Authority exactly like they have done in 2007. We have to look at what happened in the past. 2007, they murdered the Palestinian clerics all over. They took over Gaza, and then they realized because Israel cannot work with them, so they put some PA authorities, people, and they were in touch in Israel, but we all understood that they are running the show. It will be the same again. They will give people to use, the sewage, the garbage, everything that takes time for them. They will not lose the money. They will not allow any force to be stronger than them. So from my understanding, it's very clear. Again, I even don't know why we have to discuss so much, try to convince so much. They will not do that. We see that with Hezbollah. We see that with Iran. Not a single terrorist organization agreed to pass its weapon unless it has been beaten and surrounded. And they are not. They're getting in the last couple of months since the ceasefire billions of dollars because the humanitarian aid continued to enter Gaza. It just was published a research by one of the UN organizations that there isn't any starvation in Gaza. The situation in Gaza from the point of food is better than in other places. So Hamas continue to use that in order to have the money to pay the salaries. They are so strong in Gaza, so I don't believe that any Western, or even if they will say Arabian consultees will be able to do that. So in my opinion, it doesn't matter what is written and it doesn't matter what they are talking. Reality on the ground, they didn't even pass one AK-47, and if they pass it, day after they will get it back. We are missing an opportunity. We missed an opportunity regarding Hamas, a terrible, a cruel terrorist organization. We could have eliminated. Unfortunately, Israel did a terrible mistake that we didn't do that. We are continuing to do that. And we are clapping our hands for diplomacy, and then it never works like that in the Middle East. I remind you one perfect example. When ISIS became a state in 2014 with a capital city in Raqqa, Syria, with its own banks, the military coalition, the American coalition, the Western coalition didn't sign agreements. They defeat them, they beat them until they couldn't have longer be a state. Yes, the ideology stayed, but they didn't have the ability to control. This is exactly the way, the only way to talk with those organizations.
So, what's interesting to me is we've seen during this conflict over the last while with the United States that there is a very clear understanding about when it comes to the United States, that it's America first for many things. And obviously America is a great ally of Israel, and that a lot of the priorities coincide. But there's an understanding when people say, oh, but hold on, that might be good for Israel, but America has to put itself first. Why hasn't Israel taken the opportunity to say, yes, America, you're a great ally, but when it comes to Gaza, certainly, and Hamas, a terror organization living within a few kilometers of our people, it's Israel first, and we aren't going to accept what might look good, but what we know is to be just an illusion. Surely now would be actually a good time to say, well, it's Israel first for when it comes to security.
So it goes back to politics, a prime minister that put all his eggs on the bucket called President Trump. And now, according to all what is published in the media, he failed President Trump regarding the Iranians. So, of course, he cannot confront him now about Gaza. And this is the tragedy. He didn't succeed to convince President Biden or President Trump the necessity of defeating totally Hamas. I will say, and this is my criticism about the Israeli government, that we lost opportunity. It took much more time to end this situation. We had an opportunity, but because political interest, the war became longer and longer, and then a ceasefire. From this ceasefire, only Hamas is winning, not Israel. And unfortunately, it seems that Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu do not have enough power to stand against President Trump, although yesterday some sense of optimism, because yesterday he said that Israel will not withdraw a millimeter from Gaza until Hamas will dismantle. Again, we should see, like I'm telling about the Middle East, I need to see actions, not statements. But definitely, if he was more powerful against President Trump, to tell him, man, we're with you together, we want to create a new Middle East, a new era. However, regarding Gaza, Israel will not be able to go with the American interest if it hurts the Israeli interest, and it hurts. It's hit the Israeli interest. Israel must insist, must be much more powerful on the diplomacy channel. The problem is the situation with Gaza is 30 years of failures, so it doesn't born in one day. The fact that Israel didn't succeed to convince the world from 2007 that there is a terrorist organization a millimeter from our homes, and didn't be able to leverage what happened on October 7th in order to destroy totally Hamas. And when I'm talking about destroy totally, it goes back also to the humanitarian aid, that we all understand that the only people that earn from that are Hamas, not the population of Gaza. This goes to Israel policy, which unfortunately regarding Gaza is a failure. It's not a success. An objective Israeli will be able to claim that it is not a success. I'm not talking about the military achievements. The military achievements is one step. I'm talking about strategy to Gaza. Well, we have much more to do, and I hope that eventually, maybe because we have an election time and Bibi Netanyahu will not be able to be presented as the guy that withdraw from Gaza, so it might, again, it goes back to politics interest, not to strategy, but maybe for that, we will not withdraw, we will not accept all those details, because, Howard, and this is what I'm always saying, it starts with a little bit pressure, then it become like a normalization. You cannot hit Hamas because it will destroy the process. which process?
The
process in which just one side is.
Yeah, the process has to be worth it, or the goal has to be realistic, because otherwise, again, it's just an illusion. Is this going to be central to the various election campaigns, do you think?
So again, I'm not a politician, but you see now what is starting to be like statements. It didn't yet get the massive power of the Gaza, but I'm almost sure that because of interest, again, in the last 3 years, what we have seen regarding Gaza, and it's a little bit different regarding what happened in Lebanon, maybe a little bit more similar to in Syria, that Gaza, the Israeli strategy is based on politics, not about interest or what is good for Israel. Definitely, because the far right that is like Smotrich and Ben Gvir, that is a part of the government. I'm not talking about the Haredim. They only care about the money. They do not care about strategy and policy. But Ben Gvir and Smotrich didn't allow Bibi Netanyahu to do things regarding Gaza, because it goes back to their thoughts and ideology, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, and I'm sure that maybe not now, but in a month, when all the campaigns will become more massive, Gaza will be one of the points that people will discuss. And like I said, we cannot withdraw from Gaza without dismantling Hamas. This is the interest. This is the strategy. If it not be clear with the strategy, maybe the fear from losing the election will make them to do that. Because if Israel withdraw during these 2.5 months from Gaza, from Lebanon, for sure, they will too many people lost their lives, and we still have a lot of criticism about why we didn't finish the situation, why we are not in a much better situation, and now a withdrawal will be presented as a loss. And a lot of people will be mad on Bibi Netanyahu and the right parties. So I do believe that it will be an issue, and because of it, it will be hard for Israel to withdraw.
That is where we do need to leave it. Thank you, as always, Lieutenant Colonel Eyal Dror, talking to us this morning, bringing us the Israel Report.
That Israel Report was brought to you by the Blue Agency. Your Israel property is in good hands. Owning properties in Israel can be a great investment, but challenging to manage if you're based abroad. The Blue Agency will manage every aspect of your property, finding and vetting tenants, maintaining your property and getting it rental ready, negotiating contracts and collecting rentals, reporting back to you regularly. The Blue Agency has built a reputation for trust and confidentiality over 20 years. The Blue Agency, your Israel property is in good hands. Contact us at www.theblueagency.com.